sports fan. Everybody standing to my right would easily tell you that I'm one of the biggest sports fans on this campus. And I kind of wanted to fuel that into having a multimedia sports site called Around the Cornfield. Good evening for those of you who don't know me. I'm Zach James. I am a senior. I'll be graduating in 10 days, and it's a scary proposition. But I'm from Searsboro, Iowa, a town of Powashik County. None of you have ever heard of. And coming to Simpson, one of the reasons I wanted to come to Simpson was to be an integral part in the Des Moines sports scene as a journalist. I think I've done a very nice job of that now looking back in my last 4 years. My career background, I've written for a lot of sites in the last 4 years, including Des Moines Sports Streets, Mouth of the Midwest, Iowa Sports Spotlight, who I'm currently still with. I have appeared in the Register a couple times. I've also been an intern with the Powashik County Sealer, which is also affiliated with the Register, and I've dabbled with the Simpson Conservative over in East Central Iowa. Nationally, I got my start back in high school with ESPN High School, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. I've written for SB Nation, Fish Stripes, covering the Miami Marlins last summer, and covering D-League basketball for Ridiculous Upside, and with Indy Cornrows covering the Pacers this season. I've also written and been an on-air personality for Fan-Sided Radio. I just picked up another gig with On Campus Sports, which is affiliated with About.com. I've also been with Yahoo, Bleacher Reports, and Arena Fan as well. So I've kind of gotten my name out there on more than one platform. Why Around the Cornfield? Like I said in the intro, I have a passion for sports. Since I was 4 years old, you could see me out my front lawn imitating Bob Costas as I was playing baseball by myself. I love the Iowa sports scene. Des Moines has a great sports market there with the Iowa Cubs, the Iowa Energy, the Des Moines Bucks, and a whole lot of other smaller teams who don't get that attention. My desire was to keep covering sports locally, and I am credentialed covering the Energy, the Barnstormers, and I just started covering the ICUPs last week. And in fact, when I was covering state basketball, by the way, for those of you who follow me, I apologize for inundating your Twitter timelines during state basketball. But I was the second youngest on Crest Row covering state basketball, and I'm the only other credentialized full-time member covering the ICUPs outside of Tommy Birch with the Register. And it's been a blast hanging out with Birch as well, and with Mark Emmett when he was a beat writer for the Energy. The mission and goals for Around the Cornfield. My mission is to comprehensively cover all sports from the high school ranks to the pros, from Council Bluffs to Clinton. Now, when I've been with Sports Spotlight for about 2 summers, and I have enjoyed what they've done. They mostly focus on high school, but I think the focus for me is to cover college and pro a little bit more, since I do that for them, and I kind of want to spin that to my side. It is a hard task. I am just a one-man crew, but it is doable with help. And if I get money to come in, which I'll talk about here in a little bit, I can hire interns around the state to write for me. What they want to be unpaid too, which I've been for the last 5 years with all the sites I've been with. That's cool too. I have asked for assistance from high school and collegiate ADs, sports information directors, and all coaches around as well. I've got a little bit of a response, but not as much as what I would like to have had. I want to reach 1,000 page views by June 1st, and reach 50 Twitter followers by May 15th, and to 100 by June 1st. Now, what you'll see later in the presentation, that hasn't gotten up to a fast start as what I would like to have had, but we'll get to that platform slowly but surely. The Twitter handle is Around the Cornfield. If you all want to go follow that, I highly encourage you to. The quantity of followers aren't the best, but will improve. I'll just say there are more people in this room than I have on following Around the Cornfield on Twitter. I'll just say it like that. But it'll improve. I try to make it an advocate of all Twitter profiles. Like, if you go check out the profile right now, I follow teams, just get a lot of news around there so I can comprehensively cover high school, college, and pro evenly. And highlights, I've been retweeted by The Energy. I've been also retweeted by the Orange Stormers. John Naughton even shouted out to me. How cool is that? And but I favorited one of my tweets as well. I've also shared posts with the Morning Sports Freaks, which I was with in the summer of 2011. I was a daily sports writer on that, and that fell through because there were a lot of 30-year-old dads who just didn't have the time to handle that site. The finances of that site kind of dwindled there, so I had no choice but to walk away from that. And I've also shared on my personal Twitter and Facebook sites because I kind of have a little bit more of a Twitter following on Twitter and Facebook than I do with the cornfield sites. To recap, have worked the best for me. I haven't been really able to go out and cover other sports out of Des Moines, which has been a little bit of a challenge for me being here. But I have covered most of the aspects in the Lawrence with being around here. That's been one of the challenges. One of my biggest goals was to be an ally to sports spotlight, but one of the challenges that I found is A, I don't have the time. B, I'm a one-man band, and C, just getting help from other media relations. It hasn't been as easy as I would have liked to have been. The competition, sorry, I do consider the Register a little bit of a competition, but I do love you guys. The Gazette also is one of my main competitions as well. Weekly newspapers, those small town weekly newspapers who love to cover their rural high school teams, which is great as well, but I do see them both as competition in and ally as well, and other blogs covering sports, such as Iowa Pro Sports and a Metro Sports Report over in Cedar Rapids. Sports Spotlight is probably my biggest ally. I get most of my sources from them. My Rolodex, both on the radio side and on the print side, is very strong, so I kind of point in that as well. Sports information departments. Obviously, Galen has helped me out here a little bit, and a couple other colleges as well, such as Poe and Loras. Weekly newspapers, I do consider them an outlet because I can go to them, ask them what's going on in their community. I think they'll be able to help me out. And fans can also reach out to me if they think they have a story that they feel like they need to be shared. I'm happy to promote that. Views, they aren't as popular as Mr. Rogers over here, who led off this competition, but we'll get there. 34 views is my best day. Now, in comparison with Sports Freaks, and it's when I started, this was more popular than what Sports Freaks was when I started and ended. In the summer, my best post on Sports Freaks was 256 when I wrote about a friend of mine who died in a car accident. But the views here, it varies. I try to use my personal Twitter and Facebook to promote that. Just the site Twitter profile, there we go, hasn't really helped out much, but just promoting it through other ways, it's the main reason how it's in the sites. Business aspects and goals, yes, there is a business aspect to our multimedia sites. I want to start selling ads here in the next couple weeks and maybe gain a little bit of money in my pocket, since getting paid is kind of fun. I'd like to gain at least $500 by May 20th. It's just a small goal. I don't know what I said in my business plan, but just making adjustments to what I've seen in the last month. That's what I want to look at now. And then if we go clockwise here, I want to purchase some advertising and kind of work with some local companies, and I want to bring with other sites as well, just kind of create a network like that. I'm living the dream. Around the cornfield is what I love to do. I've been doing this for 5 years. The first actual assignment I got as a journalist was with you, Emily, when I was a freshman. You did assign me the Fluiriac story, which was a difficult piece to write, but it was the start of something great here at Simpson, and just around the cornfield will allow me to continue building my career, building something. I want to stay here in Des Moines, but if I have to go somewhere else, I'm not going to say no. So as long as I'm here around the cornfield, it's going to be something that's going to be very integral to my career, and hopefully it can boost it, launch it into something just as popular as the Des Moines Register. Thanks for listening, and I'll take any questions.
Great. Questions for the judges? By the way, I got to say one thing before the questions. That your presentation went a lot more smoothly than your sound check on one.
So many folks want me to do stand-up tonight.
We're fine.
No.
We've been here for a long time.
That would be, so let's go right to the questions and resist going back to the stand-up. Anyway, yeah.
So how, very broad topic, how do you decide kind of like which events you should go?
Well, that'll depend on where I end up. If I stay here in Des Moines, I may micro it down to the Des Moines area and basically recreate sports freaks, which is what I probably should have done in the first place. But I'll try and cover high school, college, and professional more. Just high school baseball and softball. Their practices start here in a couple weeks and games start in a month. It's kind of hard to cover high school track meets, especially with the type of weather we've been having. But just being a credentialized with the Warren Stormers and the Coast right now and with the energy in the past, that's basically been my coach here.
They kind of answered my first question too. You did mention that eventually you'll have kind of a nice size network of reporters so they show you around the company. That's a pretty big network if you want to be a comprehensive site for all high school, college, professional sports. So if you could just elaborate a little bit on how you see that happening, actually growing and that going up.
Well, Marco, I'll tell you, with Sports Spotlight, I'm the only pro sports writer they have. Now, what we do with the magazine, I'm not sure if you've ever seen our magazine, but we use Tony Atzini, our program director. We use mostly media relations people to write stuff for our magazine, like Scott Montesano recently wrote a story for us about the Bucs season online. So I'll have to use those outlets to try and make it comprehensive. I can't do it all by myself. I found that out the hard way. But I can do as much as I can. But if I can find people to write for me, great. If not, I have to bust my behind as hard as I can, and I think I have that score.
In terms of, do you have much video and photo? And
I have audio on the site. Thanks for bringing that up. I'm planning to make audio and video as premium content here down the road once I get more of a following. A big example of that is HawkeyeDrive.com. Brandon Stowns is a good friend of mine. He covers Hawkeyes football and basketball, and he makes his money by charging premium audio and video. Now, one of my posts I did last week does have audio in it, my interview with Iowa Conference Commissioner Chuck Urian, but down the road, once I start making a little bit of money, I will start charging premium content. And once I get a bigger following too, because my crowd right now, I'll just put it this way, there's a bigger crowd in this room than there is with around the cornfield right now.
Taking back something you said and clarifying, you said that you've reached out to ADs and SIDs, you haven't had much of a reaction yet, response.
Right.
How do you overcome that, especially as a new media outlet?
I gotta dig. I gotta ask around. I gotta keep asking them. I gotta keep, not necessarily badgering people, but still being on people's minds and just keep trying.
And you mentioned kind of all the sites that you worked for, and then there's a lot of blogs out there. How do you make it around the
That's a good question. I guess just by promotion and advertising, and if I haven't really used Sports Spotlight as much of an ally as I would like to, but if Sports Spotlight is on the train with me, if you will, by becoming a partnership, then that'll help us. But right now, I'm just on my own. Like I just told Marco, I have to just keep trying.
I think just about So, Zach, thank you. Appreciate it.